Because plants do not have organs, right? Plants are not built like humans or animals. So where do their intelligence come from? Hi everyone, and welcome back to my final thesis. So last time we talked about code and we talked about the failures, the missing points, and all the noise in my head to create the project that I wanted to with my notes thesis. And how did I get to TouchDesigner, which was the perfect software for me to create my idea, the more organic feeling of nature. Today we're tracing all the full journey where the idea started, the creative process inside TouchDesigner, and also the physical book that I have it here with me. And one of these books were also Plant Intelligence, if I'm not wrong. And this book was really, he has also other books as well talking about plants and nature. But this book was the one that I read that gave me a lot of inspiration. Of course, I learned so much more that I knew previously before reading the book. And there is where I wanted to share something more meaningful than only visual design. I wanted something to summarize all the 3 years of my entire studies in university, which were video, graphic design, cinema theory, how to integrate artificial intelligence for good in our projects, how to, of course, educate future generation into using AI for a beautiful purpose, not only to generate ideas, but to use it as a tool to let you create your own intelligence. Because plants do not have organs, right? Plants are not built like humans or animals. So where do their intelligence come from? I started to write down all the idea that I wanted to create this future exhibition. I focused on roots because there is where plants get the intelligence from, let's say. Because they work like the internet. They're all decentralized, they all grow. Roots provide nutrition. Roots gather all the information that is needed for the plants to grow, to make their own processes. I colored all the images that could give me that clean aesthetic look, something that you could perceive when you go to walk into nature at it, or when they would go into the exhibition and interact with my piece of art. They would feel as if they were walking into nature, and they will perceive their intelligence and how much we can learn from them. For my work in TouchDesigner, first of all, started gathering some images in this university page of research where you can find all the roots of plants. There are not all of them. To Gemini AI, of course, only for the procedural discovery, not for my idea of the project. I want to mention it more often because this is the main also concept of my project, because I would also want to educate future generations into using AI for your creative ideas, not going to AI to help you generate the idea and become lazier and not productive at all in this sense. I asked him on how could I create the root procedural animation, because of course in nature everything grows slowly, perfectly, how it is supposed to grow. And I had all this vision, like I wanted to create the root, had the procedural growth that would glow in the dark, because this hidden invisible intelligence object, this procedural root. And I wanted the visitors, when they come close to the root does not grow anymore. But when they step back further, the root continues to grow still, to give the sense of looking at nature and getting inspired by it, also in design, but also in different type of ideas, of creative ideas that we may have. To gather all these points together. So educate the youth, make a new visual language based on the intelligence of roots, showing something that is unseen usually to our eyes. And roots are something incredible. And also the fact that they can communicate with plants if another plant is sick or needs nutrition, and to arrive at the point of the project that I was progressing much more to arrive to where I wanted it. And of course it was not easy, but I sent to AI a lot of images and talked to him like I was talking to the result that I wanted to. For example, maybe the glowing lightning of the root was not as I wanted to, because it was from a direction, but not only, of course, other failures and experiments as well. What I noticed is when AI, when you talk a lot with it, it somehow gets bugged. He doesn't understand anymore what you are talking about, so he's just gonna write down things that are not true. So you had to do a lot of learning by doing by yourself, and also watch some tutorials. But I do need to say that once I figured that thing out by myself, then I could proceed the same with AI and reach the final result, which was for me adding media pipeline, which is another node where you can hand track your project. You can interact with it. For example, you can measure the pinch. This is what I did. I measured the pinch of my fingers. When I would do like this, the roots would disappear, and when I open it again, it would reappear again. The exhibition will happen in the future, and I will document it for sure here with you guys. But what I did was a prototype. So the reason why I did this pinch interaction with in the real environment in the future, and that would be possible with a sensor Kinect, where you can put the distance and do the same calculation of the distance. And for this, I also asked AI, because what am I doing here is not explaining you guys how to be a pro in TouchDesigner. I just used this software that I have never used before with the help of AI to reach my idea, and it was deeply satisfying. Believe me, that when I finally get to move and interact with my webcam of my computer, it was something else. I will also link in the description below the entire project, that you can be able to modify it in your preferences, maybe experiment with it a little bit, and I'm gonna upload the entire project so you can add your own images and have the same interactions with the pinch. Because of course, if you want to do something else that is interactive, you can also do it with your face, because there is also face tracking, body tracking, it's not just hand gestures. And yeah, talk with AI and experiment new things if you want to create other ideas of yours. And now let's move on to the graphic part of my printed book, which is here with me, always present. I've got to say, it was also the graphic design part in Adobe InDesign was also something that I worked on for a lot of time, because of course I had a mood board what I could base on my research and the aesthetic that I wanted to give to this book that I was writing about. I wanted it more to be like a poetry, something that really goes smoothly and naturally as nature itself. And then I came up with this idea of using this typography that aligns with both pages of the book. A lot of these images are mine, but other ones are a big collection of images that I searched online, which was another work to do, because I had to find the appropriate images that give me a sense of belonging to the topic I was talking about. And then I proceeded with combining all the pieces together. But not only, what I wanted to add was also some inspiration that this thesis gave me, instead of this, not only for the digital part or the writing, the typography, the graphics, the photographies. I wanted to create something handcrafty as well, since I'm a person who likes to create a lot of different things, not only just one direction. I also got inspired for some jewelry, and I created a earring that would go with the flow of nature, that would describe growth of seed. In the pictures that I also uploaded for this printed book, there's a lot of designers that inspired me, artists as well, such as Azuma Makoto, Iris van Herpen, Neri Oxman for sure, whom I discovered from the Netflix series, The Abstract Art of Design, because it was a long time ago, I don't remember the name, but she really inspired and everything that I am. But these artists as well inspired me a lot, and I will talk about them also in the other video. And we will also create art together, also with integration of AI, and learn new softwares, new tools to use for images, for videos, and to educate for the better with this new tool that we have that gives us so much information that is really helpful for us, and not view it as something that will destroy us completely. I would like to think it in a positive way. But why am I documenting all of this? Why put it on YouTube? Honestly, I'm not an algorithm chaser or trending model. It's my own space, my own, and to grow by sharing the reality, the failures, the growth, everything that lies in between the growth process. As an artist, as a person, of course, first of all, but as an artist, as a person who has much more to learn and who is curious of the world and how everything works, really that my direction is nature, art and technology, and that's why I opened this channel, to also resonate with people who think it the same way, who care about these topics, who genuinely care about the why and the creative processes. And here we are finally with this last video about my thesis, because I don't want to bother you too much. I just want you to have the idea of the creative process behind everything that I did. Of course, it's not all of the hard work that I put into it. but I just wanted to summarize it into points for you to understand it better. If you had a topic that you want to discuss about with this intersection of nature, art, and technology, and also with AI experimentation, let me know in the comments below, and maybe we can also develop it together in the next videos. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be always here wearing my earthy tones. Hope we have fun together. Bye bye!